So I grew up doing normal things. That not really was very good in something specific, but I was doing okay. And even from my home, there was not a very huge burden of becoming first in class or doing very well in sports. There was like basic things like do well in your studies, be healthy, be a good citizen, be polite, stuff like that. So
Hello and welcome to Storify India by Biopatrika. I'm Nandita Sharma, host for today's session with Devansh Singh, Senior Research Associate at BridgeBio Oncology Therapeutics. Welcome, Devansh.
hi Nanita, thank you for having me here. I think it's a great opportunity to voice my views and like let people know of my stories.
Yes. So, Devansh, please tell me about your background and upbringing. How was it like growing up for you?
I mean, my background was, I would say, a comfortable background. Both my parents are from academics and they are professors in state universities. So I grew up doing normal things. That not really was very good in something specific, but I was doing okay. And even from my home, there was not a very huge burden of becoming first in class or doing very well in sports. There was like basic things like do well in your studies, be healthy, be a good citizen, be polite, stuff like that. So overall, it was all good. I think in terms of my undergrad, if I'd finished my undergrad from Allahabad Agriculture Institute in Prayagraj, and from there I did my first master's in molecular and human genetics in Banaras Hindu Universities. And from there, I came to the US for my PhD, but I ended up doing another master's in from Eastern Illinois University in biochemistry. And from there, I've been working in the industry.
Okay. So, how did you discover your passion or interest? Was there a defining moment or any experience that influenced you?
I mean, most of the time, I think I've been the go with the flow kind of guy. Never really thought about it. It's just living my everyday life. But I think the as far as I remember, the defining things from where it started was when I was in my undergrad. I was doing my thesis project in Dr. D. Dash lab at Institute of Medical Sciences in Banaras Hindu University. Thing there we were working on platelets, and I think everyday task was to get the blood samples from across the road from Sir Sundarlal Hospital, and the blood bank, the weight with the blood bank runs to the cancer ward, and we were always in lab coats as instructed. So there was a lot of rural crowd. There was a long line. People were in like me, and many a times people would confuse us as doctors and they would ask for help. We would always tell them, hey, we are just interns. And often like take them to the real doctors over there. But think from there, I used to think that I need to do something with my life. And this feels like a good thing that cancer is a big thing in India. It has a huge impact on society. It impacts individuals, families, healthcare system, economies, and communities. So I feel that I think I should do something that might affect the health of these people, like help them in their lives. I think from there I wanted to be a scientist. And think from there I started planning on my future directions and came to the molecular and human genetics department in my master's.
That's wonderful. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced and how did you overcome those?
I think one of the biggest challenges, there was a lot of like challenges in terms of my work. I think science is, science doesn't always work. There are always challenges. But I think the latest that I felt was during the pandemic time. I think I just graduated from my master's. I had a huge student debt on my head, and I just joined a new company. But then since due to the pandemic, there was a shutdown and the bench scientists were the most affected. I had to, I was let go from the company because of that. I think I struggled to find different companies. And one thing about the student visa is that you only had limited number of unemployment days. And after that, you have to leave the country. I think in our case, it's like 90 days. So in that pandemic year, I shuffled to different jobs because once the labs closed down, it's financially not a good viable options to keep people on payroll. And before I think I shuffled to three different companies, and before I joined BridgeBio, I had one unemployment days left. I think the pressure at that time was a bit much because I was away from my family. I couldn't meet anybody, and I think I didn't want to leave here from such a big student. And final thing is that I can see my goal of actually helping the patients, working in an industry that can have a direct impact on patients' life, and to to just get turned back from such a last moment. I think those are some of the moments, but I think I've been lucky and things have been well after that.
That must have been a very difficult time for you, but gladly you just came out of it. So, Devansh, what does a typical day in your life looks like?
I won't lie, I live a very mundane lifestyle. Overall, I mean, I have a very bad work-life balance, but like I wake up early, like 7 or 8, and then it takes me sometimes to get to work. The route to work is good. It's like 15 minutes, not a lot of traffic. I usually try to enter my lab through the back door because I try to avoid people in the morning. I mean, honestly, there are so many ways you can answer, how are you doing? Every time, every day. So from there, I start working on my projects. I have a brief meeting with my managers. We discuss the parameters of things that are going, the things that I'm going to do next. I mostly avoid lunch because I'm lazy. I'm in the lab and I don't want to walk over to the office side. And we get lunch from the company that automatically becomes my dinner. And once I finish my work in the evening around 7, usually go for something like swimming or go on a run, come back from there, eat my lunch, now dinner, and spend some time like wandering off and then go to sleep. So this happens like 5 days a week, almost 6 days a week. So yeah, it's pretty boring.
No, it's great actually. So, what are some of the important lessons that you have learned in your life and how they have changed your behavior?
I think one of the most important lessons that I've learned up until now is how not to chase someone else's dream. It's important to not follow the crowd mentality and set up your own dreams. Uh, it helps you develop individuality, critical thinking, initiative. Uh, what you really wanted to do it in life should be free of like societies and norms. It should more broadly be based on your values or your beliefs, which you have developed through your struggles in your life. And I think one of the best example that I can give is that most of the people that I know, maybe we know in the industry, have a completely different background or their the specialization in which they finish their undergrad or masters. And it's because at that time people just follow what they see in their vicinity. I think that's one of the things that it took me time to overcome. I think I'm better without it.
That's great. So, what are some of the proudest achievements that you feel are the best thing in your life, and why do you think so?
I mean, there have been many proudest achievements. I think I can talk about the latest. Um, we, our 3 years of hard work has come into fruition. We were successfully able to submit investigational new drug application to the FDA. It got through, and we open clinical sites across United States and Australia. And any day now, we'll be getting news of our first patient dose. I think it's a huge achievement in my eyes because for me, I was very closely associated with this program. with the discovery phase, development phase, preclinical phase, I took I think I generated like I was the only bench scientist here. I generated about 80% or to 90% of the data that helped move the program to the animal studies. I think that's a big achievement for me in terms of my work life. In terms of my personal life, I think I've been wanted to follow in my parents' footsteps. Like for example, my parents got their PhDs in their late 20s, and I've been wanting to do that. But I really love working in the industry. Didn't want to leave that, so I was able to uh, discuss an agreement with the company of doing industrial PhD. I think that's a big achievement for me that I can be working in my industry in the same place, doing the same amazing work, novel work, and I get to use some of that as a thesis for my PhD program. So I want to see how it goes.
Well, congratulations for the clinical trial of your new drug. So that's great news.
Yeah, it is. It's like so my company works on the RAS platform, and common knowledge is that almost 25% of all cancers in the world are caused by KRAS. And think trying to tackle that, trying to tackle people with this huge unmet needs. I mean, for the past 30 years, there has been no drug in this field, and we are following on one of the latest compounds in the market that I think the recent phase 2 trial just came out, and there was 37% progression-free survival that was seen in the patients, and we are hoping we can cross 50. So with that, I think it's a big achievement that we are trying to achieve something with such a small team here.
Definitely. So, Devansh, what advice would you give to somebody who's navigating through life's challenges?
I mean, best advice I can give is from what I learned from my own journey, is to again not follow someone else's dream, not to follow a crowd mentality, and pursue with perseverance what you have learned. Don't really need to be a topper throughout your school or college to know what you need. I mean, I've been lazy all my life and I really never wanted to work. But then if you really don't want to work, just need to find a work that you love doing every day. That's one thing that I'm very much enjoying in my life.
Great. So tell us something about what you look forward to in life.
There's a lot of different things in terms of my career achievement. As I just mentioned, I look forward to finishing my PhD. And more than that, I just don't want to stop here. I want to contribute more. I want to be even major contributor to what my goal was when I set up to work in the industry. I wanted in future, I wanted to work for myself, uh, help help my people, my country, turn around the lives of the patient from where I got the idea of doing it. I think there is one thing that I would like to someday have my own startup in some of the good things that I've been learning over here.
Well, good luck with that. So my final question to you, Devansh, is given another chance, is there anything you would do differently? Why or why not?
I mean, definitely, I think I would do some things differently, not because I do not like my situation here. Everything is perfect for me, but I would like to explore more. If it's good, then it can be better, I guess. And during my undergrad, I wanted to go for mechanical engineering. I wanted to go for space engineering, help build satellites or different technologies that would assist me for more space exploration. So I would wanted to do that again if it happens. And I would also wanted to maybe go in a profession that's maybe a pilot profession. And but overall, there are lists of things that I could be doing, but maybe I could do even better than that. So there's always a chance. I'm always a bit greedy this way. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I would do different.
Well, great. Thank you, Devansh, for answering my questions. And I hope your story will inspire many people around the globe.
Thank you so much for your time again.